Okay, sorry folks. Now we're cooking. Alright, the mic was off. Okay, so welcome. Good morning everybody. Saturday morning, September 9th. It's my dad's birthday. Always like to remember him on his birthday. And I'll be honoring him later on by going to his favorite fast food joint for supper. One of his guilty pleasures, just a fried chicken place. It's the only time during the year that I'll do that. Okay, anyway, we're going to play some chess. I was playing around with audio settings earlier, and in my tests everything seemed okay. So do let me know if you are experiencing any audio issues. So Queen's Gambit declined, orthodox variation. Rook d1, good move. Lines it up with the queen because at some point the center may open. So let's kick that bishop. And we'll get our bishop out. Now the question is, do I want to throw in b4 and go a5, bishop a6 and try to trade that bishop off? That's one strategy. The other strategy is to support the b pawn and play c5. Hey, Patrick. Yes, I got my Metallica shirt on. How are you doing, my friend? So if I go a5, I'm just wondering, what do I do on knight e5? Because it hits this. If I go queen b6, then he could take here. And at some point he's going to win h7. So I don't think I can get away with my idea of a5, bishop a6. I mean, if I try queen c7, that might be possible, but I think it's the same problem. Yeah, takes, and then I either have to take back with the knight, or he's going to take, followed by bishop takes. I could maybe start things off first by playing h3 or h6, then I don't have to worry about that stuff. It does create a weakness in my camp. Okay, I'm going to decide to play for c5. I think that's more thematic. Oh, good. Yeah, I was playing around with the audio settings. So hopefully we don't have any of those, the static and the distortion that we had last time. So now rook c8, lining it up with his queen makes sense. a6, with the idea of playing c5 at some point, makes sense too. Well, let's go rook c8. I like that one. Now if he does go 90, yeah, 95, I think now I'm forced to play either h6 or g6 because the threat is either, yeah, the threat is take, followed by takes, and then bishop takes h7. I always got to be cognizant when I play h6 of these ideas. Bishop in here. Now that's good for me because I get two pieces, but later on in the game it might be an issue. So let's play h6. Knight d5 is a candidate. Black has less space in the center, so generally when you have less space you want to trade some pieces. So this guarantees at least one of the bishops to come off the board. And the reason for that is if white doesn't take this, let's say white were to play bishop to g3, well then I've got knight b4 hitting queen and bishop. I'm wondering though if he could throw this in followed by maybe a knight here. King takes, queen in, king f8. It's a little uncomfortable. Yeah, that is quite uncomfortable now that I look at it. So maybe we'll go queen b6 or queen c7. Queen a5. Alright, I'm going to go queen b6. Let's give that a try. Now, the good thing about having the rook on e8 is it protects the bishop, so therefore knight takes, bishop takes. I always got rook takes bishop. Well, now I'm thinking I might need to play for c5 right now, because if I allow him to play knight e4, then I don't think c5 is going to be possible. So c5, now what are the repercussions of allowing him to take there? I take, he takes. That might be a worthwhile pawn sack, just because it frees my pieces up. So we're going to go ahead. This bishop is now active. If they take with the knight, I could take here, and then I'm hitting the queen. Now do note, if in this variation they take, I take, they take back, looks like it's checkmate, but I've got knight f8. Of course, the king can't come out because of the bishop. So I'd have to block with knight f8 there. So finally, we've given our opponent something to think about. First real think of the game. bishop takes here, here. I don't think I want to take, because then there's rook d1. And then after the queen moves, the bishop and the rook are on the knight. Although now that I say that, I could play queen g4 there, threatening mate. And that would give me time to move my knight. So that might be a way around it. I honestly wasn't playing c5 in order to have equal material. It was okay if I don't regain the pawn right away, because the resulting pawn for white, that's going to be an isolated pawn, and I've got activity. So after, say, knight f6, that's going to be a target for me. So yes, white's up a pawn, but I don't think it's significant enough. But we'll see what my opponent has to think here, what they come up with. Okay, they're going to throw a bishop check in. Why? So, do I go king f8 or king h8? If I go king f8, I'm taking away the f8 square from my knight. I'm thinking of playing king h8 because now this bishop would have to be defended by that queen. So let's go here. Okay. Just wanted to push my my king to the corner before offering the trade. That's logical. Okay, let's take, and I suspect they're going to trade the bishops now. No, not yet. Going to wait for me to play knight f6, I guess. So if I go knight f6, there's takes, takes. Are they planning to push there? Interesting. No, I think I come out ahead. Okay, so knight f6. Now my rook is ready to double up if need be, or go to d7 and pile on the d4 pawn. So I think I'm quite happy here. Well, now I just realized I could take it with the rook. No, let's take with the queen, because the queen eyes this square, so. And also eyes that square. So current threat is b4 because the knight is pinned. So queen d3 is an option. a3. thing about a3 is I might just go a5. The idea to push. Oh goodness, opponent left the game. That's not good. Sometimes Lee Chess will say that, but I think the opponent is just in a long think and maybe not moved the mouse in a while. I think this has happened before, so I'm not going to claim a victory if they haven't moved after 50-some seconds. Because I suspect this is just a think on my opponent's behalf, but maybe not. Who knows? We shall find out one way or the other. So how might white deal with this? I guess queen e2 is also an option. Maybe queen e2 is the best. Gets out of the pin, but also hits b5. Is there no way to know, like, to ping your opponent? Yeah, it just looks like they're disconnected. Can I go to their profile maybe? Yeah, that doesn't show us anything either. Okay. Well, it does look like indeed they have left the game, so I think I'll call a draw once it goes to 2 minutes. Queen's Gambit is a very solid and drawing opening, so I think a draw is a fair result. Oh, there you go. Now my opponent is back. Excellent. Ah, yes, that's what I was looking for. The little bars here that show the network connectivity. Okay. Okay, well, same idea. Queen d3, so now this is attacked twice. Now, I think if I play a6, he might have d5. Rook d8, d6, rook d7. Maybe I'm okay there. What about b4? b4 allows knight a4 with the idea to sink the knight in there. So let's just hold for now. Play a6. Okay, so now they're using potential pin ideas. So rook d7 makes sense, just to pile on the pawn. Looks like they want to go knight e4. And why not? Because from knight e4 they can hop to c5. So what happens if I just go rook c4? They'll have to protect this with the rook, and then I can consider... Actually, I might win material that way. So is there any benefit to rook c4 over rook d8? I don't think so. Oh, I guess there is. So if I go there, maybe they're going to go knight e4, rook takes, knight c5. Give up the pawn that way. Okay, let's go with this. And so I'm thinking this way I can take with this rook. And that way, okay. So they're just going to give up the d pawn. The d pawn was toast anyway. Okay, so I'll get a tempo on the queen. Now I can get a tempo again on the queen. Unless I'm missing a move, which I don't believe I am. I think this is, he's got queen c5, okay. Now the threat is queen f8, maybe. But then I always can bring the king up. Rook takes f3 work? This might work. I think I have at least a perpetual here. Yeah, got slowed. Don't have enough time, I think. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm winning there at the end, but I don't have enough time to calculate it. Let's see, what's the eval? Yeah, eval says that I'm up a pawn. So one thing that I was thinking, yeah, I could try, the only thing I saw was rook d2, and then I saw rook e2. And then after takes, the only thing that I see is queen takes e2. And I'm up 3 pawns, so I guess technically this would be winning. And queen and knight play well. So knight coming here. Yeah, that would have been promising. If I only had maybe a minute in my time. But was rook g2 the best? Okay. Now rook takes g2 wasn't the best. King h7 or queen b8? Queen b8. Let's take a look at that one. What's that all about? We're covering f8. We're also eyeing... So, I don't know. Let's say white makes a silly move. Yeah, just for illustrative purposes. Let's say white were to play knight b1. No, that's not what I want. Let's say a4. Okay. I mean, this is not a good move, but I think the idea is to play rook takes f3. Because if white were to take, then the queen jumps in. Hello! Thank you for the follow. Enzo. Are you on Lichess? But let's say if white plays a good move. Rook e3 makes sense. Now it's amazing. It says -5 here for black. That's incredible. Because right now black is only up a pawn, but that just goes to show the strength of a rook on the last rank. Knight d5 is coming, maybe queen f4. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. Let me just check the opening a little bit. So I played bishop to b7 here. And thankfully I didn't play my a5 stuff. I just don't think that's right, because knight e5 and you're hitting this. So here's the idea. I spend a move to protect the pawn, and now knight takes, queen takes, bishop takes, and now white can win that pawn on h7. So let's throw in h6 first. So h6, bishop h4, and then I wonder if we could play a5. Interesting, the engine wants to play b4 there. See, my idea was to play b4 with the idea of playing bishop a6. Try to trade off the bishops. But engine actually shows b4 as a possibility here. So what does white play after b4? Well, there's a couple of moves. What about knight a4? That would be one thing I'd be concerned about, with the knight going here. So bishop to b7. The engine says bishop takes. Now the idea is that if I take with the knight, they can plonk the knight into here. So we take with the bishop. Castles. Rook c8. And so I guess if the knight goes in, the pawn is going on that square. And then we can play queen. Okay, queen a5 now with my idea of bishop a6. Okay. I'll have to consider that idea in the future, the b4 move.